Hey guys, my name is Mike, and I'm a former New York City bouncer who went from sleeping in the streets and living in the projects in Harlem um, to going back to college in my late 20s, studying finance and doing two graduate degrees and getting a job at a top consulting firm. And I talk a lot about mindset. I talk a lot about the things, my own experiences, some of the cool experiences I had in bouncing or in consulting, and some of the things that I've done to kind of get to where I am today. These are the kinds of things that I wish I had heard, and I wish I had somebody to talk to back when I was lost and trying to figure my life out. And I'm not quite exactly where I am right now, so I'm still kind of going through that journey, and I just want you guys to be able to join me. And today I wanted to talk about something that I've gone through very recently, and I'm still going through, which is everything that you want is on the other side of the work that you are refusing to do. So in my case, um, I've been wanting a great body. I wanted to look like some of the WWE wrestlers WWF wrestlers, right? So you got like Batista and The Rock and, those kinds of guys, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I always wanted to look like those guys. I thought they were super cool as a kid. And, they still are. Why can't I just do it? Why can't I go work out, go to the gym, and look like one of those guys? Why not? Well, because most people don't have the discipline to go to the gym, do the workouts, and to have the right diet, and take the right supplements. I know that probably a lot of those guys use steroids or whatever. I'm avoiding that, but I can still work out to get as far as I can without that additional help, right? I could still strive to get that kind of a body. Why don't I do that? And my entire life almost, I've been avoiding that. But a year ago, I finally said, fuck it. I'm sick and tired of wanting this thing, wanting it, and constantly dreaming about it. I said, I want this. I want to look like those guys. So I started working out. And you guys can see one of my earliest videos I did only a couple months after I started, what I looked like back then and what I look like now. And it's still a work in progress. The hardest thing for me initially was getting into the right routine with my gym workout. So now I'm in the gym at 4 a.m. every day, and I do an hour of lifting and I do an hour of running, build up my endurance, build up my cardio, and also just in generally build up my body so I can take on heavier and heavier weights and harder stresses. But the point is that when everything that I want is on the other side of the fact that I have to get up early and I have to work out like a maniac, and then I have to eat and diet right. So the next thing I'm trying to work on now is get my abs out. I know I've built them up. I've been doing ab workouts. I know that they're there. It's just that I have this layer of fat over me, and I have to diet correctly to get the abs to show. And it's hard to dial in your diet, but I actually studied nutrition in Harvard this year, and I know what I need to do. I know what I need to eat in order to get the right macronutrients with the right micronutrients and vitamins and those kinds of things. So, it's the work that you refuse to do, like that. Your outcome is there. It's on the other side of that work. So if you want more money, more love, more self-respect, more happiness in general, then why do you keep showing up consistently to the same crappy jobs, to avoiding the gym every day, to avoid working out, and you treat your body like shit by eating crap, by drinking alcohol, by doing drugs, by smoking? You're just, that you're avoiding the work you need to do. It's like literally when I used to smoke, you do it during work. Like you're working in a restaurant like I used to, and you want to take a break. You're literally like avoiding working by going outside to have a smoke break, right? But when you're smoking, you're also avoiding the fact that you're out of shape, your body's not, in good shape, and you're smoking and damaging your lungs and making it difficult for you to ever get back in the gym and work out. And you're just like literally avoiding all the things you need to do to get the things that you want. So for a long time, I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted to have a 6-figure job at a minimum, right? I wanted to make like $10,000 a month. And I'm like, how am I going to get that out of a job? Well, you have to go to school and study the right things if you want as a job. Okay, I'm just talking about a job. I'm not talking about being an entrepreneur, having your own business or whatnot. So I had to do the work finally. In my late 20s, I said, fuck it. I'm going to go do the work. I thought I was too old. And honestly, yeah, it's embarrassing to be 27 years old in a classroom full of like, 17, 18-year-old kids, high school graduates. And they're all taking the same, 101 level business courses with you. It was fucking embarrassing. But you know what? I had to do the work to get the result. And I did it. But I was like, man, it's going to take forever. I'm going to be in school for a long time. Yeah, I was in school for a long time, but I needed to do the work to get that result. And so if you're trying to avoid it, then yeah, you're screwing yourself. So point is, if you want the things that you want a happier relationship with your wife or your husband or whatever, you want to love yourself, respect yourself. When you look in the mirror and you say, man, I really wish I had an 8-pack, or I really wish I was bigger and tougher looking. Then do the work to get there. It's very simple, right? It's very simple. Like, and you simplify it even more. I'll give you a tactical thing to do. Take a piece of paper and like write it down, or put it in your phone, write it down somewhere where you can look at it and think about it and iterate on it and say, these are the steps I need to take. This is the goal that I want. I want to have a good looking body. What is the work that I need to do that I'm avoiding? Well, first off, you're avoiding even doing what I'm suggesting here. But if you just write out your goals and then you create the steps, the actions that you need to take to get there, and then you start knocking those actions out. You start doing that work to get there. And you don't have to wait until you've achieved the goal to be happy and say, that's it. I'm, 5 years later now, I look like freaking, The Rock. Oh, I got, giant back muscles. I'm finally happy. No, you get happy on the way there. You get happy knowing that you're achieving those steps and you're working towards those goals. So, that's all that I have for today. I really appreciate you watching this. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Good luck.